Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking comic book review. Today's review is actually out of order. I wanted to review this down the line. It was much later on my review schedule, but I figured now is kind of a time when it's needed, so I'm going to go ahead and do it and upload it early. It is DC Pride 2021 #1 from the DC Cultural Anthologies. Yes, a lot of people worked on this book. Big creative team. Jessica Chin, Chris Conroy, Diego Lopez, Michael McAllister, Andrea Shea, Amado Turturro, I think, among many, many others. And these are just the books that DC releases out to pretend they care about minority groups. But it's a very good book, though, with a very cool cover by Jim Lee. That's right, the Jim Lee. Very cool, ages 13 and up, from DC Comics. And according to the front cover, it is celebrating a parade of LGBTQIA plus characters. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. DC has better queer characters than Marvel. Sorry, Marvel. Alright, it has a foreword by Mark Andreyko, which most people are probably just going to skip. And then it goes into the first story, which is a Batman story by James Tynion IV, who is not only one of the best queer writers in comics, but one of the best writers in comics, with art and colors by, hold on, let me get a closer look at this, Trung Lee Nguyen. And God, the art is magnificent. I really love it. It's I can't even describe it. It's incredible. I love the colors. I love the line work, the panel layout. Everything about it is great. And then the story itself literally made me cry the first time I read it. I literally cried. And it's the first story in the anthology. And then the next story is about this very Doctor Strange looking guy telling a story to Constantine about when he and Midnighter teamed up to fight a Nazi vampire. And it's about how a lot of people try to erase queer history. Like, people pretend that a lot of fictional characters and real historic people weren't queer, and that a lot of cultures weren't accepting of queerness when they actually were. Plus, it's always good to see Midnighter. I prefer seeing him running around with Apollo, but hey, what you gonna do? Then we have another story about the Question, the Montoya Question, of course, not Vic Sage, because Montoya is sapphic. Very good story, really cool art. I'm just happy to see the Question. I'm a huge Question fan, and it makes me very happy to see anything Question. We also get a little Harvey. That's their couple name now. Harley and Ivy. Harvey. Oh God, what a horrible couple name. Harley and Ivy story, which is cute and colorful and good. Not my favorite one in the book. Sometimes the faces in it look a little wonky, but it's a real cute one. And then one that I really like, called He's the Light of My Life. It's about Alan Scott and Obsidian. Obsidian is Alan Scott's son, and they're both gay. And it's about Alan Scott, who, you know, is from like the 40s, coming to terms with who he is and accepting it. And, you know, there were a lot of gay men, even now, especially back then, but even now still, will like force themselves to behave straight, and they'll even marry into heteronormative relationships and have kids and stuff, and just like it's torture for them, but it's better than anyone maybe thinking they're gay. And sometimes they're even repressing it themselves, and they don't even fully realize they're doing it. Got a lot of those vibes from this book. A lot of those vibes. There's also a story about a Flash in the future. I'm familiar with all the characters up till this point, except for this Flash. I'm really not familiar with this Flash at all. I think they're non-binary. It doesn't flat out say or anything, but that is the vibe that I'm getting, no pun intended. But really love their outfit. It's actually an incredible Flash suit. I really like it. I really like the goggles. Why don't more Flashes have goggles? It makes sense for a Flash to have goggles, right? They're moving at super speed everywhere. They should have goggles. And there's also a Mirror Master that looks like a disco punk character or something. We also get one called Be Gay, Do Crime, like the meme, which is with someone called Little Drummer Boy, who appears to be a new character, and Pied Piper, one of DC's first queer characters, and one of comics' first really openly queer characters, I believe. Very fun. They threaten a landlord to keep him from discriminating against the Pride community. Then we have one called Date Night, which is about Dreamer from the Supergirl show, who I know to be a trans woman. I didn't make it that far into Supergirl. I didn't finish any of the Arrowverse shows, to be completely honest with you. I think the farthest I got in the Supergirl was maybe season 3. I finished season 3 and then watched a couple crossover episodes. But I also never finished Arrow or Flash or Legends. I don't even think I got past season 2 of Legends. Maybe I did. I don't even know. Because, the Arrowverse shows got real bad real fast. But Dreamer seems to be a pretty popular character. I mean, they brought her into the main DC Comics universe, which is cool. And she's like a legacy Dreamer. Appears to be dating Brainiac 5. Very cool, very fun. Fun story. Interesting story. There were some pretty funny moments in it. And there's like a picture of Catman that's really, really weird. It has weird feet. And the last story in the book is called Love Life, which is mostly about Aquaman, or was he still Aqualad at this point? I don't know. He's kind of a pretty cool character. I've loved Jackson since Brightest Day. But he's a character that no one ever really does anything with. He's always used as like a side character. He's very rarely allowed to actually shine, despite the fact that he's easily the coolest Aqualad and one of the coolest and the most powerful of the Aqua family. One of the most interesting. I mean, Black Manta's his dad, but Eclipso like crashes a pride parade that he's in. And this is Eclipso, all right? This is a character as powerful, if not more powerful, than the friggin' Spectre, okay? Actually, Eclipso used to be the Spectre, but he was so deranged that God kicked him out. Yeah, Eclipso is a powerhouse. But then the JLQ shows up, the Justice League Queer, with a lot of recognizable characters in it. Batwoman, Crush, the Tasmanian Devil, who I forgot existed until recently. And I was actually reminded of them before rereading this book. But also Midnighter and Apollo. Plus more. But yeah, there's a lot of really great action. They fight Eclipso, run him off, and they save the Pride Parade. And I think Shining Knight is in the background as well. It looks like Shining Knight to me. Shining Knight is Transmask these days, I believe, since the New 52. But here's the thing here. So DC was actually going to make an ongoing JLQ book with queer creators and stuff, and it was going to have like the Ray and everyone on the team. I was excited, and they canceled it. And according to the creative team, they canceled it because they saw the U.S. going in a political direction that was anti-queer, and they never really cared about us in the first place, right? But they were like, oh, we see a lot of anti-queer sentiment online, so we don't want this book anymore. But that kind of means the book is needed more, does it not? But DC still has better queer characters than Marvel. And then in the back, there's DC TV queer profiles. There's one for Dreamer. Once again, didn't get that far into Supergirl. Sorry. I actually, according to this, it looks like she came about in Season 4, so I guess I did stop watching at Season 3. And then Batwoman, a show that I never started. I only saw the crossover episodes. White Canary, John Constantine. Never watched the Constantine show. Thunder, never made it to the Black Lightning show either. But it was my mom's favorite. She loved it. Negative Man. That one's not Arrowverse. That's on Max. But I am a big Doom Patrol comic fan, and I do actually want to watch that show. So yeah, it's a good book. Do I think the suits at DC actually give a damn about the Pride community? No. No, I do not. But I know that there are a lot of amazing queer creators and a lot of amazing queer characters at DC. And that gives me hope for the future. And I know that things are rough right now, not only in the States, but in the whole planet. It seems like this right-wing anti-queer, especially anti-trans sentiments are coming about globally, especially in English-speaking countries for some reason recently. But listen, you're not alone. You never were alone, and you'll never be alone. Queer people like us have existed for the entirety of the time that the human race has existed. We always have been here. We always will be here. And things might not be great right now, but one day they will be. They will be. But that's a future we have to make happen. We can't just wait for it, because we'll never get it. It's a future we have to build. And even though I think DC releases books like this mostly for PR, it is helpful. It is a step in the right direction. And despite the motivation, it is the right thing to do. These annual Pride issues are good. At least this one is. It's admittedly the only one I've read. And it was good. I do plan to read the others. I will review them. It's a good book. So thank you, DC, for putting this out. And if we support these, then maybe we can get more support in their pages as well. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.